Hi everyone, my name is Seve Adigun. Many of you may know me as the school bus driver for Route 218, and some of you may know me from the community as the dance instructor known as the Ballroom Maestro. But in full disclosure, I'm also the voter registration coordinator for the North Augusta Democratic Club. I wanted to speak with you about the upcoming election being held here in North Augusta on April 27th. What election? Didn't we just vote in November? True, we did, but voting is not a one-off. And it's something that you'll do the rest of your lives as citizens of the United States. Now, for those of you who may not be overachievers in social studies, let me bring you up to speed on some things that are happening here in the local area.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Now, yes, in November we held the presidential election, and the presidential election is held every 4 years on the first Tuesday of November, and this is the time when we choose the president as well as many of the representatives for the United States Congress. But local elections are not always held on the same schedule. They can vary from state to state, city to city, county to county. North Augusta just happens to be one of those cities. North Augusta has a mayor and 6 city council members at large, or you could say 6 at-large city council members, meaning that all of the members of the city council represent the entire city, and no one member is committed to a certain district, like in some of your larger cities. The mayor is elected every 4 years. Now, catch this. Every 2 years, 3 council members are elected to serve 4-year staggered terms. So the potential for very political perspectives is increased, though there's only been like one political viewpoint in the North Augusta government for like more than 40 years, whatever. I'm just saying. This is where you come in. So historically, here in North Augusta, the majority of citizens of North Augusta don't vote in local elections for whatever reason. Complacency. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Now, the last election was held in 2019, and according to the United States Census, as of 2019, there were roughly 24,000 people living in the city limits of North Augusta. City limits, remember that. But only 1,900 people voted in the last election in 2019. So for all of you mathematically challenged friends of mine out there, that equals less than 12% of the people who live in the city limits that voted in the 2019 election. Now here's the real trick. If you live in North Augusta, many of you do, a lot of people use the name North Augusta in their address, but they don't actually live in the city limits. What does that mean? That means that your water services, your sewer services, your trash services, your public safety services, and your right to vote are handled in the county that you live in this case being either North Augusta Aiken County or North Augusta Edgefield County. Kind of a bummer, and most folks really aren't aware of it until it's time to vote. North Augusta fun fact. North Augusta has only had 2 mayors over the last 30 plus years, and there has never been a woman or person of color to hold the office of mayor in North Augusta. So, now I'm paraphrasing here. Prior to 2019, South Carolina law used to state that if no one signed up within 14 days of your election to run against you, they simply canceled the election and you were awarded the position, which meant that an incumbent, the person that's already in the position, could simply keep the position if no one signed up to run against them within 14 days of the election. Now, this law was amended by South Carolina Democratic Representative Larry Funderburk in 2017 and then put into law in 2019. This will be the first election for mayor in North Augusta in more than 40 years where there will actually be candidates from 2 different parties running. The current mayor, Bob Pettit, won his first election unopposed and will be retiring this year. The former mayor before Mr. Pettit, Lark W. Jones, held office unopposed for 4 terms before simply deciding to retire because he got tired of winning? This just in. For those who wish to cast an early ballot before the election, The Aiken County Board of Elections will be sponsoring early in-person absentee voting at the North Augusta Community Center April 19th through the 22nd from 9 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Citizens who may not be able to vote on Election Day are encouraged to participate here. Again, those dates are April 19th through the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. at the North Augusta Community Center. In further news, if you're interested in meeting the candidates for the upcoming general election in North Augusta, the North Augusta Star will be hosting a Meet the Candidate open forum on Tuesday, April 20th, again at the North Augusta Community Center at 6 p.m. This will be a great opportunity for citizens to ask questions and pose concerns to the candidates. Voting is the one right that every citizen of this country has and should take advantage of. Voting matters. Voting is how we can lawfully create the change that we want to happen both in our communities and in the country. You cannot sit back and keep saying, well, I don't know, it doesn't affect me, so why should I care? The fact that North Augusta residents do not vote is how someone can sit and stay in office for so long without anyone contesting them. The diversity of our communities should have a voice in our government and our local government, just as we demand it in our state and federal representation. Voting matters. That said, we need you and 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 you to vote in the upcoming election on April 27th. It's not too late. Well, it's actually too late to register to vote. But if you voted in November, then you have the opportunity. Yes, you are eligible to vote in the election on April 27th. Now, before you go running out to vote by yourself, I need you to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your cousin them, let everyone you can think of, let them know that there's an election coming up and that they need to cast their ballots again. And feel free to share this video with anyone you think might need to know about the election. We look forward to seeing you at the polls on April 27th or at early voting, April 19th through the 22nd. I thank you for your time. We'll see you at the polls. For more information about voting laws and concerns, check out the links in the description down below. Paid for by the 2021 North Augusta Democratic Club.